Okay, so we ran out of time the first time, so now we're back with part two. So Braylon, you was talking about how this this film is supposed to be a commercial originally for razors, but it's not. It has nothing to do with razors. It's talking about being a man and trying to set an example. But it only for me it only shows characteristics of guys doing bad things. It doesn't show firefighters. Doesn't show police officers. It doesn't show men who help you whenever, like if you're on the side of the road, especially in the place that we are in Oklahoma. If I see a woman on the side of the road and she's trying to change a tire, generally there's a guy pulled over to help her out. So it wants to highlight, men could be better, but how many men out there aren't actually, a decent man trying to lead a decent life? You know what I'm saying? Because it says that the boys, like Bear, is watching. So how do you feel like when you seen those two boys wrestling? Was one beating one up?
They they were basically just play out roughhousing around.
Is it wrong to roughhouse?
No.
Do y'all roughhouse with each other?
Yes, sir.
Do I come break up y'all roughhousing?
Yes, sir. We
Okay.
should stop it because we know when it gets too far.
Right. So I think that when it comes to what about the boy who was leaning on his mom crying because he was getting teased at school? How do you feel about that? Like if you was to encounter, because Bear, you been teased at school?
No, sir.
Not really. You don't really go through that. Yeah, because he's kind of he's kind of a leader. I ain't gonna lie. Bear, a lot of kids like Bear, so he really doesn't go through that. What about you, Braylon? Have you ever been teased? Okay, now, even though you might not have gone through that, there are people who do get teased. I myself was teased in school for being such a fat kid. But do you think that if you're getting teased, crying on your mom's shoulder is going to help?
No.
What advice would you give that kid if you seen him crying on his mom's shoulder because he's getting teased at school? What would you say to him?
I would say stop crying first because that's not gonna help anything.
What do you think would help?
Well, what I would generally go to is you if I were to ever get teased or bullied because you would show me how to toughen up.
Right. So there was a scene in the commercial. Let's go to it. Very interesting, to where
But some is not enough.
Someone treat each other, okay? Okay.
Because the boys watching today
hold on, I want to go to this part.
in ways big
How come the only black father has a daughter? But what is the title of the show? Or what is the title of the film?
The best the man can be, or the best man can be.
So if this commercial has been showing everything about boys, why is the only description or depiction of a black male not with his son but with his daughter? Wouldn't that make more sense for there to be a black boy right there? Now, a man is still a man regardless if he has a son or a daughter. There was another scene where there was a black man and he was around a group of boys trying to tell them to essentially, you guys are men, you need to blah blah blah. He made them shake hands. That scene right there, he tried to make them shake hands, but he doesn't look like anybody's father. He just looks like a man trying to break up a street fight. But they showed a father, and it was just a female, and I felt like that part could have been substituted with a male. There are some words that you guys are going to encounter when you grow up called toxic masculinity. So that's a made-up word. That's a made-up phrase, I should say. The fact that you like wrestling, Bear, and you like to play with toys and things of that nature, you like cars, that is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't like you guys teasing other kids because I don't want y'all to get teased. You do unto others as others do unto you. So, if you start teasing people, somebody's going to tease you. Trust me. At some point in life, somebody is going to tease both of y'all. It happens because they might not like you for your skin tone. They might not like you because your hair. They just might not like you because they don't like you. When it comes to the point to where that little boy was crying on his mom because other kids were teasing him, that was me. But I didn't have a dad. If I had a dad or a father, I would have told myself, get off your mom and toughen up. Because this world is not built for you to be soft as a man. It's not a soft, cozy world for you. Okay? It's a tough world. It doesn't mean you have to be cold and hard all the time. You can be nice, you can laugh, you can enjoy life, but it doesn't mean that you have to be a baby when adversity comes or troubled times come. Crying on your mom's shoulder is not going to help. That scene would have been better if there was a man right there. You're like, come on, son, you got to get past this. That's the difference. If you want to say it's bad to be a man, then don't show a scene where a boy is crying on his mom without a man there. Right?
Yes, sir.
I think that this commercial could have did better if they would have showed men changing tires, changing oil, acts of heroism, heroic nature. Things could have been a lot better in this ad. So I don't want you guys going around thinking that it's bad to be a boy. It ain't bad to be a boy. You know what? You might get into it. Braylon, you've been into a fight before. And Bear, I don't think you've been into a fight. But I know you wrestle your brother and you wrestle me. It's okay to be physical. It's okay. All right? It's not a bad thing. And don't let nobody tell you it's a bad thing. Okay? Because the people who are telling you it's a bad thing are really, I feel like they're overreaching people. They need to kind of stay in their own lane. You handle what's in your own house before you try to worry about the world. Fix yourself before you try to fix me, because I feel like I'm okay. And I feel like I'm raising you guys okay. So I want you to understand that just because you see something on TV does not mean that you copy it. That's why they showed the little boys at the end, kind of copying that man. And for that man to break up those boys trying to jump the other kid, that was okay. But do not hang on to phrases like toxic masculinity, because you will hear that sometime in your life. Okay?
Yes, sir. It seems like they used a man's voice to cover up what's actually going on inside the background.
Right. Trying to make us all soft and stuff.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
They made it seem like they're talking about something way deeper than what the guy is talking about being a man stuff.
Right. You're going to hear a lot of things in the future that talks about, equal rights and things of that nature. Equal rights between male and female. And that's okay. To have this, if a woman wants to have the same type of rights as you, of course they do. That's not a problem. Equal opportunity of outcome. Now that's different. And that's a whole nother subject. So we'll talk about that later. But I want you guys not to fall into the ploy of social justice warrior. You guys will hear that more in the future. Okay? Don't fall into that ploy. Be who you are, and I will correct the things that should be corrected. Other things that are natural, let them be natural. That's how we've gotten, and that's how we will be. So that was our video. We're gonna sign off, Mr. Cashier.
Bear.
Brother.
All right, we out. Peace.